Recently, Dr. Disaster covered the entire saga of how the Geralt VA told a woman to shut up and called her a clown after she voiced concern for Witcher 4 because of the DEI and ESG issues sweeping the industry. And then the whole saga blew up. Now, links in the description if you want to check that out. But in the video, Dr. Disaster speculates that CDPR is on a damage control run. Now, I can't say if they are or not, but this is the topic they're all discussing. As the VA said, he got slapped by CDPR for the comment. In the video, which I'll play here shortly, and the link will be in the description so you can check out the whole interview yourself, the Geralt VA starts off saying that, he said some information that he thought he heard from inside the company that Geralt would be sidelined. Now, in his defense, the employee he said he thought he heard this from no longer works there. And I could have sworn I heard something about that years back too, so he might not have been entirely wrong about his information, just in how he went about it, because, being a Marxist douchebag in line, not how you get customers. With that alone, you could argue, okay, is he doing damage control? Is he not? It's kind of, you can make an argument either way. What is really astonishing is if you keep listening to the interview, he straight up says that if he did know what was going on and he's under an NDA, he would lie about it. All the articles conveniently just leave that little tidbit out. Here is the VA saying it in his own words, and you decide.
So, with Witcher 4 continuing, which will no longer be the protagonist, what's your thoughts on that? You're no longer the main character of the franchise.
Well, I did go online and I said something about this, and then I got slapped by CD Projekt because I don't know how true it is. I went off a rumor. I thought I'd seen somebody from CD Projekt say that Geralt will be in Witcher 4, but he won't be the main character. I don't actually know if that's true now, because they came back and they went, we haven't put anything out there. Don't say anything. So the truth is, the answer to your question is, I don't know what it's going to be. I have ideas. I thought I had an idea what it was. And then I was kind of basically told, we haven't told anybody what it is. So where you got that information, we don't know. But I think it might be from a really, really old statement that somebody who no longer works for CD Projekt actually put out about 3 years ago. So Witcher 4 is a complete mystery to me. I actually don't know.
Yeah, because there's a teaser image with a mask for it, and people are speculating it'll be Ciri as the protagonist for the sequel.
Well, that would make sense, because in the books, Ciri visits different worlds and things like that. I always thought that would be a cool Witcher 4 would be to follow Ciri's journey when she goes off and visits different worlds and stuff like that. I think that would make some sense, but I have no idea if that's actually what it's going to be or not. That was a conversation I had with somebody from CD Projekt long time ago, and we were both trying to kind of, surmise what the next Witcher might be if there was to be another Witcher. And I mentioned that idea that it would be about Ciri, and that person kind of went, maybe. But we also talked about a Witcher origin story, or we talked about, other things. So goodness knows. Because they teased a medallion as well, which looks very much like a lynx. The School of the Lynx doesn't show up anywhere in the books or in the games thus far. So who knows?
I think on website, they said that the release date for Witcher 4, it's not a title, is September 2025. So he won't be approached for voice acting role if saying Geralt will be featured in it at all.
I don't know. The truth is, I can't answer the question because I've signed an NDA. So even if I did know, I would have to lie to you.
Welcome back. Now, why would CDPR being doing damage control right now? Well, let's hop over to this article here. This is the article from the Industry Insider who said that Ubisoft might be broken up next year. By now, you've probably seen a ton of videos on this, or even read an article yourself on this. I was going to do a video on it, but then I just decided not to. So yeah, there are some highlighted bits up there. What's important is this thing covers more than just Ubisoft. It covers CDPR's current predicament. CDPR reports revenue decline. A 49% decline in revenue totaling $55 million suggests publisher CD Projekt is grappling with the natural tapering off of sales from Cyberpunk 2077 and its expansion Phantom Liberty. Wall Street isn't convinced just yet that the game maker will make good on its promises, with an analyst calling it a show me story. Now, that's not a random YouTuber saying this. These are industry experts. Or rather, analysts, so put whatever weight you want behind that. But it isn't just a random Joe Smo, small-time YouTuber saying, oh, their future is not exactly set in stone. There should be some skepticism. Investors are nevertheless hanging on because the firm's profitability held stronger than expected, with a net profit of $19 million and a gross margin of 67%. The firm managed to outperform both its European peers and the Euronext 100. Now, I didn't know what the Euronext 100 is. I had to look it up myself. It's basically their S&P 500. Top companies across all of Europe. You see how they're performing, and then you weigh a company against it. Now, keep in mind, Europe has been underneath a lot of economic turmoil. The French government has basically collapsed again. There are mass protests across Europe from farmers. You have Germany deindustrializing due to an energy crisis because most, if not all, of their nuclear reactors have been shut down. I'm not quite sure where they're at with that. Having CDPR outperform a continent in an economic crisis is not as impressive as it first sounds. And their European peers, well, let's just be realistic. There hasn't been any major blockbuster hit out of Europe this last year. At least not one I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure someone in the comments will point out a handful of games that came out of Europe that were pretty good. Now, I'm not counting AA or Indie, just for the record. I'm talking AAA or a big time title that sold millions of copies. You just don't really see anything from Europe having really great success this year. Next year will be a very lit year because you're going to have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 dropping. But this year just wasn't a lot of stuff to compete against. So being the number one in a very slow year, still an accomplishment, but not as large an accomplishment as, say, being the biggest in a great year. Whether or not this is damage control, I cannot tell you. I can tell you what he said is suspicious why he's bringing it back up. I can tell you that it is suspicious that he is admitting that he will lie. And I can say the timing of it is also suspicious. What will come of Witcher 4, we will have to see. And until we see, we can merely speculate. That's all I have to say about that. Hit the like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.